get out here and review this pay-per-view, you fucking pussy! Never! You'll have to kill me! Oh, I'll do a lot worse than that. You get your ass out here right now, or in the next video, I'll make you strip, totally nude, and make you say to the whole world that Orlando Jordan is your favorite wrestler. You wouldn't dare! Try me. Fuck! Okay. Final resolution. Beer Money versus Ink Inc. Like I said last time, this was just a formality. There's no way Beer Money were going to lose this match. There was no real suspense here. All you could really ask for was that it be a good, solid match to open the pay-per-view, and that's what it was. I'm still not too crazy about Ink Inc., but they do work hard, and they've gotten over, so whatever. Perfectly fine opener, and probably Ink Inc.'s best match as a team so far. Oh man, we're just diving right into this thing, aren't we? Mickie James versus Tara, Falls Count Anywhere. You know, I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun, and they gave it around 10 minutes, so they had a good chunk of time to beat the crap out of each other. I even liked the stuff in the bathroom. Some people probably didn't like it. I thought it was funny. Like when they showed the guy in the stall and he came running out with the newspaper and pulling his pants up, that shit made me laugh. Also, we didn't see it, but I'm pretty sure Mickie may have given Tara a swirly in the other stall. So I like this match. But these women have been brawling all over the arena every week for the last month, so while it was good, I didn't feel like they were doing anything new. And I didn't agree with Tara going over, because I feel like these two have done just about everything they can to each other, and I thought they should end this feud before the storyline got old, which it's on the verge of doing. But I guess the writers want to draw it out for another month so they can have Madison Rayne on a pole match at Genesis or something. Not really looking forward to that. Nevertheless, another good match. Robbie versus Jay Lethal for the X Division title. Cookie in a cage suspended above the ring match. This match was passable, I guess, but the gimmick was so damn campy and the finish was stupid as hell. The story is Jay Lethal knows he can beat Robbie as long as Cookie doesn't interfere. So why then did he take the hairspray that she passed to Robbie and use it to try to cheat to win? He should have just thrown the hairspray out, but God knows that couldn't happen because then we couldn't have our all-important overbooking. I popped for Shark Boy. It was cool to see him again. I always liked Shark Boy, but him being there just confirmed my worst suspicions, that the X Division title match was just a glorified comedy segment, and that's not the way it should be, but it's pretty much the only way you can go with a cartoon character like Robbie as the champion. Rob Van Dam versus Rhino. First blood match. Okay, look, I'll give these guys credit. This was not a bad match. It was actually a pretty good match that had some nice spots, like the moonsault spear sequence. That was cool. It was a good match. I just didn't care about it. I'm tired of the EV2 thing. I don't want to see it anymore. Van Dam wins. I assume that's the end of Rhino, so it's one less EV2 guy getting TV time. AJ Styles versus Doug Williams for the television title. This was terrific. And why? Because the writers actually got out of the fucking way and let two great wrestlers go out to the ring and wrestle without any stupid gimmicky crap. These guys put on a clinic out there. No real high-risk death-defying stuff or anything, just great wrestling. I especially like the Chaos Theory at the outside. That was awesome. From a technical standpoint, this was the match of the night and probably the best match TNA's had in a while. I'm not totally sold on Doug Williams as a babyface yet, and I don't know how I feel about the title change. I mean, if one of the Immortal guys had to lose at this pay-per-view, AJ was not the one to do it, but I'm not complaining about the match at all. This was great, great stuff. Motor City Machine Guns versus Generation Me for the tag team titles. Full Metal Mayhem. Oh god, that's really starting to hurt. I was so happy they didn't stick this match in the curtain jerker spot like I thought they would. This was as good as we all knew it would be. These guys did everything they could to each other. Suicide dive into a chair shot, falling off the ladder through a table, the chair fight on a table on top of the 3 ladders. A crazy match with some really innovative spots, and I guarantee you this will be light years better than any watered down crap you're going to see at TLC in a few weeks. This was a great way to cap off this feud, and it was one of the few examples on this pay-per-view of it actually making sense to do a gimmick match. This and the TV title match were the highlights of the show. Unfortunately, after this match, everything went horribly awry. Pope versus Abyss. Casket match. I think I'm bleeding internally. I said in the blog that I really didn't agree with these guys feuding, and this is why. I don't think Pope and Abyss match up well together. There's not much in-ring chemistry there. Their characters don't play off each other well. Generally, they just don't produce very good matches. And the casket thing is stupid as hell. The gimmick is just so damn silly. It doesn't make sense for either of their characters. It doesn't make for exciting matches. It's one of those concept matches that really should have been left in the Attitude Era. This wasn't a horrible match. It just wasn't a particularly good match. And the casket thing didn't help at all. The spot where Abyss punched through the casket and grabbed Pope by the balls, that was kind of funny, but I don't think it was meant to be funny. Aside from that, I don't have anything else to say about this. Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett, submission match. I think my heart stopped there for a second. This match told us 2 things. TNA really wants MMA fans to watch their product, but they don't have the slightest clue what makes MMA work and what MMA fans want. You want those fans to watch your show, TNA? Do a Japanese-style match. Don't do shit like this. This makes MMA fans laugh at you. This makes them think your company is a joke. This match was fucking horrible. And the fact that Jarrett went over Samoa Joe again? I get that Joe's contract is expired, but do you think shit booking like this is going to convince him to re-sign? Shouldn't you be trying to make him happy? For Christ's sake, you had Tara destroy Taylor Wilde and Sarita in separate singles matches when she was about to leave the company. You let Kevin Nash pin Samoa Joe clean at Bound for Glory when he was about to leave the company. But you can't let a guy who's supposed to be one of your biggest young stars beat a glorified mid-carder like Jeff Jarrett. Fuck this match and everything about it. Matt Morgan, Jeff Hardy for the world title. No DQ. Alright, that little wuss is having a seizure or something, so I'll have to finish up here. Morgan asks Anderson to make this a no DQ match because he knows that Immortal are going to try to interfere. So rather than requesting a gimmick that might offer him some protection from their interference, he chooses a gimmick that will make their interference completely legal. Because that makes sense to Matt Morgan, somehow. But then Immortal never interfered in the match, so the whole point was moot anyway. There was a lot of weird stuff just like that in this match. Stuff where it looked like they were starting to overbook it, but then they pulled back and didn't follow through. 5 minutes into the match and Morgan starts selling a leg injury. I don't know why he was selling a leg injury, it never factored into the match at all. Eventually the babyface guest referee, who said he was going to call the match right down the middle, starts cheating to help Morgan win. You could argue that the heel champion deserved this, but it only would have felt like comeuppance if Morgan had won the title. As it is, it only made Morgan look bad because even with the biased referee trying to swing the match in his favor, he still couldn't win. Then Anderson gets taken out and Jackson James comes down to replace him. But this was so damn bizarre. Bischoff literally drags Jackson James out there, but isn't he the last referee that Bischoff would want to officiate this match? He could have picked Hebner Sr., Hebner Jr., Andrew Thomas, but no, he picks the referee most likely to screw with Immortal. The referee they've been antagonizing for weeks, who was calling it down the middle, who was standing up to them. And then not only does Jackson James not turn heel, but he calls the match straight and Hardy wins anyway. So the whole thing amounted to nothing. There were so many weird-ass things going on in this match, and I have no damn clue why any of them happened. This was the most incompetent, ineffective, ill-conceived, schizophrenic, haphazard, stop-and-start booking I think I've ever experienced. I hated every fucking second of this match, and the match before it, and to a lesser extent the match before that. For the first 6 matches, they had a really good show going, but starting with the casket match, this pay-per-view fell into a downward spiral that it never escaped from. So that's Final Resolution. Good for the first 2 hours or so, but oh my god, they fucked that up at the end. See you next time.
Please call an ambulance.
Can it review, monkey?